Today I'm going to show you how I made this puffer jacket inspired by Jacquemus Fall Winter 2021. I did use my Cricut maker for this because I wanted to show you how cool it is, but you don't necessarily need one. So here's the inspiration. You can see the flowers are kind of floppy and large. So I started out in my Cricut design space and searched for flowers, and I searched for the free ones because I do not have a subscription. I was not impressed with the offerings, so I decided to make my own in Photoshop. So I opened up a new document and went and found some flower clip art that I could kind of manipulate and play with to achieve what I wanted. So I found a flower that I liked. This one has 8 petals, just like the inspiration. So I'm going to pull that into Photoshop and place it on my blank document. Then I'm just turning it black to make it easier and filling in the center. And then I went to warp so that I could make the petals not too crazy, but a little bit floppy and warpier than just the very symmetrical flower I started with. And then I am going to crop in on that image and save it as a JPEG. Going back into the Cricut design space, I am going to upload that image that I just created. And then once it was uploaded, I was able to place that image onto my canvas. So I'm using felt for the flowers, and after looking at it, I decided to make the flowers each about 4 by 4, and then I could fit 6 on a single piece of felt. I resized that flower in my canvas to be about 4 by 4, and then I duplicated it 6 times, or 5 times, so that there were 6 flowers total. And when you go to make it, Cricut will automatically put your project into mats like this. So it wanted to put it onto 2 different mats. I wanted these all to fit onto one mat, and I knew they would, but I just had to manually adjust their placement. Once the mat is ready, I selected my material. So I just searched for felt and they had that, so I selected it. And then I loaded my correct blade, and once that was done, the machine automatically knows it's ready to go. You can press the go button on the machine and then it will start cutting. I'm not actually sure what happened here. I stepped away from the machine and you can see that the felt kind of gets crunched up in the back, but when it got pressed back through, it was all smooth and there was no issue with any of the cuts of the flowers, so I guess the machine worked itself out. Once the cut was finished, I unloaded the machine and peeled the flowers off of my mat. Once the cuts were done, I laid out my puffer and got out some safety pins, which is how I'll be attaching the flowers. I wanted to use pins so that they could retain that kind of floppy look instead of being totally stitched down. So then I tried to decide my layout, and once I was doing this, I realized that I really liked it and I think I will sew them on permanently, but for now, let's look at how I did it with the pins. You'll want to carefully pinch the flower against the coat and take your pin, stick it through all layers of the coat, the lining, the puffer, filling, and the top, and then just catch the felt of the flower very carefully and stick the pin back through. So it's really not holding on to very much. I would say it's probably not the most secure if you're looking to wear this in a rugged situation, but you could also, instead of using a pin, do a very secure stitch through the center of the flower and achieve the same effect. I will also say with using safety pins, you're going to end up with pinholes in your jacket that could be permanent. I was okay with this because this is a jacket that's become kind of just a go outside and I don't care what I look like jacket. It's got some stains on it, some scuffs, so I am actually covering some of those up with the flowers as well. It's a great upcycle project if you have an old puffer like me, or if you thrifted one that you like but it needs some work. This is something you could do to it. That's really all there is to it. So here it is finished. I didn't put any on the back because I ran out, but also I kind of like the surprise of turning around and seeing all the flowers. I hope you like this DIY. If you try it out, tag me on Instagram or TikTok at Diet Blonde, and I will see you tomorrow with the last DIY.